And I'm Nicole Burns, and here at AI4 interviewing Jeff today. So I'm learning more about iMerit, what they do, but love to hear more about you, of course, and what you do with iMerit and more about the company.
I feel like I've been around for a while. I've been there for about 9 years. Company's been around for about 12. And I've been president for the last couple of years, running everything kind of from lead to revenue throughout the company. And iMerit's been around for about 12 years. We're in the data operations space where we're building the high quality data sets that go into power algorithms. We're doing a lot in the frontier model kind of group, which I think we're going to talk a little bit about. And then been doing a lot in mobility, where we do a lot of kind of multimodal type of data labeling, data annotation for self-driving car companies, drone delivery, smart agricultural companies. And then Med AI has been a big area as well. And I think at this conference we've talked a lot about security and compliance and HIPAA and PII and these types of things and the importance of that. Yeah, those are the types of verticals iMerit works on and the type of data we work with.
Nice. Thank you for that. And nice to meet you. I'm really excited to see you here and meet with you. You know, we're hearing a lot of things about compliance and trust within AI because, of course, this is brand new for a lot of people. And when we were talking earlier, we were thinking we were like going back to the old days of how we look at data. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about that and how iMerit plays into that.
Yeah, I think it's really important right now. Speed is becoming a huge thing, right? Every company wants to get in front of the other. They want to get into the frontier again. They want to win. And right now, speed is quality.
Right.
And so if you don't have the highest quality, then you're not going to have the highest speed, right? And so speed is first. The problem with that speed, though, is that sometimes people kind of cut corners. They kind of look at the wrong things to try to propel and move fast. That data is the proprietary information of the customer. It's the secret sauce of the companies that are building this data set. And we take that very seriously at iMerit. And so compliance, security, in fact, the CISO we're bringing on right now happens to be the colonel with the US Army. And so we take these types of things really seriously at iMerit because that data security is the difference between your company's kind of proprietary information getting out there in the world and not. As companies are using human in the loop and they're using crowds that are less specialized, they're also opening themselves up to a lot of data issues there. Right. And again, PII, HIPAA. Yeah. The AI we're running with today isn't table stakes AI anymore. It's not a product recommendation engine. It's not just, you watch this, you'll also like this, right? We're now doing stuff in medical. We're now doing stuff in mobility, self-driving cars. Literally, you're putting your family in these cars, right? Like, the data needs to be the highest quality, it needs to be the most secure. This isn't table stakes AI anymore.
Oh, awesome, I appreciate that. And you're giving me more insight into really where does it fit and how people are really focused on this. How do you convince your clients today to trust you to go this route? I mean, I feel like a lot of people are getting stuck into, what is and how they should be managing it today. Like, how do you get them to kind of see the future and how do you play into that part?
Yeah, so, in any company I've ever worked, NPS scores, right, are like really important because those are basically telling you that what you're doing for the customer is working. I think in this space right now, you still have a lot of hype, you have a lot of hype cycles going on, and so you have a lot of people out there who are concentrating on this new cutting edge, whatever the most exciting thing to talk about is for media interviews, for press. Some of what I kind of get back to is old school, the quality of the data has to be really good, it has to be secure, and you have to trust who you're working with. Trust is going to become a paramount part of what we're doing right now, again, because that data has to be secure, and you have to really trust that the company's going to be with you during the life cycle of the development, because this isn't going to be developed in 1 week or 1 month or 1 year. Yeah. This is a 5-year, 10-year transition that's happening. Yeah. Is that company you're working with going to be there? I've been at iMerit for 9 years. iMerit's been around for 12 years. Is this a company that really understands how to squash bugs? Does it understand how to do feature requests? Does it understand how to do the things that keep our lights on every day? Why we build for the future? And so we really concentrate on making sure that our clients feel safe, secure, and that we're going to be with them through the journey, because it is a journey. And our NPS scores reflect that. So what we try to do in the beginning is give us a data set.
Okay.
Tell us what you're looking for. I can talk to you all day about how great we are. Let me show you instead of telling you. And once we get to that level, our conversion rates are off the roof. So what we're really trying to do in the beginning is just build that trust, get a data set, have a chance to show what we can do. Once we get into that, the proof is in the pudding, as they like to say.
I love it. So some word of advice for the AI folks here, right? So we have a lot of startups, people that are coming out with different technologies, of course, agents, and we got the agentic approach, we have security approach, we have it all, right? When you think of healthcare, they're like the struggling factor. Like they have a hard time adopting a lot of this AI. What is your like word of advice for anybody else in the AI space that really want to kind of like wants to work with healthcare or work with the, you know, any of the harder or more difficult industries that are less adopting?
So I think they are adopting. I think the difference in MedAI or healthcare to start with is they have huge businesses already.
Yeah.
So they don't need to make AI work today to build a big business. So when you're working with these huge, healthcare organizations, they're already doing $40 billion a year in revenue, $80 billion a year in revenue, where a lot of these AI companies are going to do zero in revenue if they don't get this to launch. So they have a chance to like take a little bit more time, but that's also why they're able to kind of test things, make sure it's secure. And the data they're using, again, is HIPAA, it's PII. They can't make mistakes while they're doing it. And so I actually would say, look at how they're doing it. They're not doing it wrong, they're doing it slower, they're being smart about it, they're being high quality about it. They want to work with real experts in the field, not general crowds. They want to work with literally radiologists and so iMerit concentrates on that kind of expertise. So I would say, look at the partner that you're partnering with. Do they have that type of high-end expertise? Are they taking data security and compliance very, very seriously? And then I would say quality is speed. So, when we try to move fast, sometimes we don't go at the highest quality, and so then you have to redo things. If you're redoing things, you're slowing down. So you need to get the high quality day one. If you can get the high quality in a week versus just launching something in 2 days, take the week, because I promise you, going back and redoing it is going to take you a lot longer. The other thing I think that's interesting that you brought up is kind of the agentic backgrounds and stuff. It was all RAG a year ago, and then this year it's like agent. You're not hearing as much RAG, but remember that RAG is actually there. It's behind the agent, right? And so that data set that's behind there, that's grounding this data, is as important now as it's ever been, which I'm not hearing talked about as much this year, but I actually think it's even more important now as these agents are going out, that grounded data is at the highest level, highest quality. That's going to make your agent work well.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I totally understand that. And data is the engine, right? It's going to make this all work, right? And you're in this, I see you like kind of in this predictive environment where you can like look at the data, be like an oracle, if you will, and be like, this is where I see the future going. I would love to get your perspective on, you talked about what a year ago was with RAG and knowledge sets. Like, what do you see in a year from now? And like, what is this going to look like?
So Andrew Ng talks about data as being the food for AI. And now it's that food matters what ingredients you're putting into the food. Okay, so the food for AI has been around for a while. Now what ingredients are you putting in? That level of the ingredient is about to move way, way up. And that's why we have scholars where we're bringing in PhDs in mathematics, high-end scholars that know how to code, PhDs in linguistics, radiologists, these types of like expertise that's needed to do the real models that are going to affect everyday life in the future. Again, we're moving very quickly past recommendation engines and into real models that are going to empower our lives with our information, with our families' livelihoods, in the car or at the doctor. And as you move into that, the level of expertise is going to have to be so high. And then again, quality and security are going to have to be so high. And so I think what you're going to hear about next year is just more and more of, we've taken these models to another level that are actually interacting with everyday life. And those demands are going to look very different than, again, a recommendation engine or something, even a basic agent that does like marketing outreach. Like, that's cool. Next year it's going to be an agent that's going from doing automation to doing autonomy. Think of in your car, you've had cruise control, okay? That's automation. We've had automation in a lot of different things we do. That's moving to autonomy. That's self-driving cars making every decision throughout the whole process of your journey. That's about to happen in all of these other industries. So think of what you're automating today, moving into autonomy. I think that's what we're going to talk about a lot next year.
Wow, okay, so we got autonomy. Does that mean that I totally lose ultimate control? Like, no, I only joke around about it, but I think that's the scary factor. Like, you and I are in this space, we're hearing enough about it where we're trusting it, right? Because we see it, we see the changes. Now, if you were going to talk to somebody who has no clue about what all of this is, how do you make sure that when we are in autonomy mode that we're still taken care of? Is that?
It's a great question. So I started my career at Yahoo back in 1998. And when we launched e-commerce, we talked a lot about using your credit card on the internet. Right. And back in 1998, I will tell you, people were like, I will never put my credit card online. That's crazy. Yeah. I would never do that. How would I have control of my money? Like, that makes no sense. And now today, at this conference, you're seeing people like, bing, 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 like paying for things with their cell phones, beaming it all over the place, right? So we've let our guard down on that stuff, and everyone seems fine, okay? Yeah. I promise you, in 5 years, 10 years, the word autonomy is not going to be scaring people. Yeah. All you're really saying is that we're going to do things in a programmatic way. Yeah. We've created automation in it, but now I'm going to let that automation make decisions, right? I'm going to let that automation run a credit card. Yeah. I'm going to let that automation do a refund, right? I'm going to let it do something beyond me just saying go every time and clicking a button. Yeah. So all you're really doing is saying, I want you to run a set of sequences at this time every day, by my control, by my program, what I've come up with, but I want you to see it through and make the big decision point at the end that I've given you guardrails to make that decision. They're working for you. You don't work for agents. Agents work for you.
Yeah, and I like that, and I see that for myself even too, and I think it's like when you explain to anybody that's not in this, area of technology, how do you articulate it and ensure them that AI is not taking over the world, but it's there to kind of really help us and be our partner, really, if, or work for us, even me or you or the company. Right. So, okay, last question. And by the way, thank you very much for this. This was a lot of fun. If iMerit were a person or a personality, all right, how would you describe it?
We're an extended member of your family. We want to help solve problems that come up in everyday life. We want to be there for the long haul, and we want to be there for the tough times as well. I promise anyone who's going on the journey in AI, this is a huge transformation. We've all lived, most of us anyways who are talking here, have lived through the digital transformation. The AI transformation is very real and it's going to happen. You can't put the genie back in the bottle here, it's happening. And so you have to be doing it with people you care about and that you trust. And so not all of us come from the best families or the greatest families. Some of us come from somewhat dysfunctional families. But at the end of the day, right, like, we want to be part of your team. We want to be there. We want to help deliver over a long period of time, not just for again, a week, a month, a year. We want to be there for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. And that's what we see with our customers today. We really become an extension of their teams. And I think that's what you really need when you're going through this type of transformation. You can't just be looking for somebody who's going to be there for a week or a month that's going to do one piece of it. You need someone who's really going to go through the tough times with you, and that's where you're going to find out what's real.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I already trust you. I love it. So, but yeah, anyway, Jeff, thanks so much. This was a pleasure, and I really enjoyed our conversation. And yeah, I'm Nicole Burns. I'm with AI4, or here at AI4 and with datastorage.com, and we appreciate you listening in, and join us online.